A day trading recap for Wednesday, November 27th, day before Thanksgiving. I hope everybody got some good trades in there today. I had one trade. I have not been posting a lot of trades lately because I have not been trading much. I've been redoing all my scans for trade ideas because I've just been struggling to find anything worth trading, and just struggling in general to find anything to trade. So I've been doing that for the last week or so, kind of tinkering with all my scans. And one of my scans that I use in the pre-market, this scan is just up down 2.5% from the previous close. So it's not necessarily a gapper because it works in the pre-market, and it can work later in the day if the stock doesn't gap but makes a big move later. It can move up. So obviously Dell was a big stock. A lot of people were trading today because it had earnings yesterday. It dropped in the day. A lot of people picked this bearish engulfing candle drop after the first 5-minute up candle. Big bearish engulfing. If you got in around below 51 here, you could have set your stop above 51. And you'd probably be okay if you got in around 50-90 cents. You could ridden it all the way down to about 49.74. Then it rebounded, and then it's back down again. So not exactly a pattern I like to trade. I also don't trade much in the first 30 minutes. I usually wait for breakouts after the first 30 minutes, opening range breakouts. So I don't necessarily trade this. I am trying to trade more in the pre-market and the first 30 minutes. I'm starting to tinker with some paper trades on that, but it's just not something I'm comfortable with. I like long trades that move slowly throughout the day, and you can just get in and ride. But so that was one. But EVH popped up in my scan, and I did trade it because it wasn't a gapper. If you look at the daily candles, it did not gap, but it had a huge drop. I think the news on EVH was I don't even know. It was they lost a contract, some sort of Medicaid contract that they had, because I think they're a medical software company. Not entirely sure, but it was bad for them. So they dropped big time, dropped right through that 200 moving average. And but it didn't gap. It dropped after the open. So you could see here, this was yesterday, and then boom, the first time. I think it looks like there might have been a halt on it. I'm not sure, because it dropped a significant amount. It dropped almost 30-40%. Maybe even almost 50%, really, when you look at it. It was up around 1070, so yeah, almost around 40, somewhere in the 40% range it got down to. So I was watching it all day because I was expecting, when you look at that moving average, it broke through every single one of them. The 200, the 20, and the 50, right through them. So I expected some sort of rebound at some point. You could see it kind of bounced quickly early in the day, because it got down pretty far and then started moving a little bit up. The 8 and the 20 crossed, and that's what got me interested. And you had a little push here, but then a bullish or bearish engulfing, and then it started moving back. So I thought maybe this could kind of continue. So I got in. You could see I got in right here at 728, I believe, 728ish. Yeah, 728. I wanted it to hold these moving averages, so I put my stop at around 712. I said if it fails here, then it's probably going to fail the rest of the day. I wanted it to get up to about 760, but it moved, seems to have happened lately, that I've been targeting stocks that seem to have more like scalp moves in them than slow moving day trades. It popped pretty close to right after I got in. You see the volume started to build up too. So I just said I'm going to get out. I got out all my shares at 746, so an 18-cent gain, and that was it. It's Wednesday before Thanksgiving. There's not a lot of action today. I shouldn't say there's not a lot of action. There wasn't a lot moving in the pre-market, so there wasn't a lot to kind of set up for early in the day. So you had to look at your scans basically throughout the day to find anything worthwhile trading. This was the only thing I found, so I said, I'm just going to take my money and run, because I just don't feel comfortable with this kind of a pop holding. Now it could regain its moving average here, come back to it, hold it, and continue back up. But I just said I'm just going to use this as a quick scalp opportunity and be done for the week, because I don't think I'm going to be trading on Friday. It's a half day on Friday. So anyway, this was it. I like that it was above when you look at the VWAP chart. This is one of the reasons why I liked it. Kind of came up, failed VWAP, failed it again, but it kept fighting, and it got above VWAP for a third time after bottoming out, I should say, because it was above VWAP to kind of start the day. So 1, 2, 3, and then this little drop to VWAP, but then held it, and that was a sign to me that maybe it was going to continue back up because it was holding VWAP. Yeah, so as soon as I saw it kind of leveling out here, I said, all right, I'll get my entry in here at 728, and then I wasn't willing to make my stop as far down as VWAP, which was around $7, because that just 28-cent stop, I would have had to reduce my shares considerably. I didn't like that, so I just got in with my normal number of shares, and I said if it gets below this little dip here, I'll get back in. So yeah, so it worked out. It actually did tip. This little topping tail did hit my first target, but I had already gotten my shares out before then, which was fine because you could see it's kind of turned around now. Could be a re-entry. If it wasn't the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, I might think about getting back in. If it kind of holds the 8 EMA here when it comes back in, I could have just moved in and out of the stock throughout the rest of the day if it starts to kind of just choppily make itself back up to maybe make itself back up to another moving average on that daily chart, maybe around 823. But you can see now it looks like that's not going to happen. If it breaks through this moving average, I'd say it might be done. But look, it came back up here, held. Who's to say it won't hold again? I don't know. But yeah, so that's the only trade I took. I know Dell was the trade. VEEV was a big trade with a lot of people today in one of the chat rooms that I was in. That was a tremendous mover. So this one, you can see on the daily candles, moved up a lot today, just gapped up, but then had a huge fail. Topping tail here, and then boom, all the way down. So from about 165 all the way down to 148. Now, the spread isn't horrible, and I don't think it was that bad throughout the day. But stock like this is really hard for me to trade. Anything over $125 a share usually moves a little too much for me, and it's hard for me to kind of, portion out my share size accordingly. But you can see, look, it did have that 8 and 20 cross here. Start moving its way back up. But it is below VWAP, so that's the only thing I would be concerned about right now, is if it's going to break through VWAP. See, kind of tried, failed. If this breaks through VWAP at any point, even though there's not much time left in the day, there's about 2 hours plus, if it does break VWAP, then you got another little 200 moving average here on the 5-minute chart, could make its way back up to that. But it'd have to break VWAP and hold it. Otherwise, it's sketchy. So that's the trade for today, EVH. I'll be watching it just to see if it is worth getting back into, even though I'll probably just leave it alone. Oh, and if you're interested in trade ideas, the best software out there, like I said, I've been changing up my scans. If you're interested in my scans, I can send them to you. It's just a link, a cloud link. You just plug the link into your trade ideas software, and you can have the scan that I'm working on. You can mess with it all you want. But if you're interested in it, if you're interested in trading, signing up for trade ideas, go to the description of this video, click the links, help me out by getting me some referrals. Go in there, try it out for a month, use the code TCTrader15, get 15% off that first month, or if you sign up for a year, get 15% off the year. Definitely worth it. You can't day trade without it. I don't know how anybody does. I don't think anybody really does at all. But yeah, you need trade ideas. So go ahead, check them out, and use my promo code for 15% off. All right. Happy Thanksgiving, and see you probably next week.